Tasmania has the oldest population in the country, and it's ageing faster than all the states and territories due to younger people leaving the state and older people moving here.
Here in the Northern Territory, our population is much younger, but our aged care group is spread across a landmass 20 times the size of Tasmania. Our services can look very different. More than 500 kilometres east of Darwin, the Malala Aged Care Centre on the shores of Maningrida is remote, especially during the wet season, when the community of around 2,500 people can be cut off by flooding. For 58-year-old Josephine Cooper, it's a secure home in a region grappling with overcrowding and food security.
They look after me all the night shift and all the workers' crimes. They help me.
The former teacher is one of just 7 residents at the 10-bed facility run by the Malala Health Service Aboriginal Corporation.
I feel like it's good, we're happy here. Every afternoon we go for a walk. Me and Lillian, we go for a walk.
Maningrida local Kalia Baker has only been working here for a few months, but is passionate about caring for community elders.
Keep them strong, go fishing like that, and to keep them safe.
The intimate setting is benefiting both residents and staff.
We get to spend more time with clients, patients. We get to sit and actually talk with them, you know.
Here at the opposite end of the country, the smaller boutique model of care is also working well. Kaduna House is half the size of a typical aged care facility. It's capped at 33 residents.
I'd worked in a large aged care facility for a number of years and just felt that there was another way to deliver care for the elderly.
95-year-old Hannah Kirk was apprehensive about transitioning into aged care 18 months ago, but she enjoys the close connections that she says comes from the smaller setting.
It's like a holiday home, and that's what I call it. It's the holiday home I'm living in.
It's no more expensive than its larger counterparts. It's funded exactly the same. But owner Leanne Reeves is hands-on with everything and says the home's not top-heavy with administration. The model enables a more personalised approach to care, according to social coordinator Adam Page.
Having a smaller facility with lesser residents, you can cater more so to individually.
Which for these residents means a busy social calendar.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
It's not just about getting out of the facility, but it's about that socialisation, being on a bus, being together, it's a bit of camaraderie.
It was just all like a big family around that table. Whenever we are having our food, we have a table that holds about 10 and we are all friends. It makes a big difference, you know.
It's hoped smaller residential facilities like these will be replicated across the country.
The federal government's allocated more than $17.5 billion over the next 5 years to reform the aged care sector. And part of that money, they say, will go to centres like this one, acknowledging the increased costs of delivering aged care in regional and remote settings. Demand for services is only set to grow. Demographers are predicting the number of Aboriginal people requiring aged care in the Territory to quadruple over the next 40 years, with a doubling of non-Indigenous seniors.
Our Indigenous population has seen improvements for the last 40 years in things like infant mortality and overall life expectancy and general health conditions. That sees now a projected rapid increase in the number of senior Indigenous Territorians.
A rapid increase in seniors is also predicted in Tasmania, with a doubling in the number of people aged 85 and older expected in the next 40 years. But despite the predicted growth, the Royal Commission recommended a transition away from large institutional aged care settings.
And go back and forth as much as you can.
It was mentioned in the Royal Commission that smaller facilities within the suburbs may be the way to go. And I think we've certainly proved that it's effective and works.
And we know, especially with the recent research behind COVID and infection control and stuff, these home-like facilities, because they're smaller, less traffic, better ventilation, it's definitely kept older adults safer as well.
Safer and more culturally appropriate, with a better quality of life.
That's good, Doug. There's no lonely people here at Kaduna House, I can tell you now.
We know all of our residents intimately and form a close relationship with the resident and their family.
To have these facilities in remote, get closer to closing the gap, it's contributing to closing the gap.